Good morning, everyone. Today I have a new item for us to add to the Subaru Impreza. This item also fits the 2013 to 2017 XV Crosstrek, but mine is a 2016 Impreza Sport. We're going to be installing something that, is not something that anyone's ever going to see, but the main reason why I bought it was for weight savings. So, without further ado, let's take a look. Okay, what do we have here? This is the Cusco Rear Brace. You guys have heard of unboxing videos, but we're going to be doing an unbagging video. An unbagging video. Alright, this is what it comes in. It came from Japan, imported. It only take a couple of days. I bought it from Blackhawk Japan on eBay, okay? And they include the shipping for some of these things, and I figured I'd buy it because it wasn't terrible. I think it was around 200 something altogether, and for the money, there's a lot of parts that you can upgrade for that $200, but I've already done a lot of stuff on this car, so let's do it. One time I was watching some video and some guy was doing like unboxing videos, but he did like a sniff test. What's it smell like? It doesn't smell like anything. So here's the part. Okay, and we're going to see what else they have in this bag. What do they give us? A nice Cusco sticker and one nut. There's some instructions in here, so we'll take a look at these. What does it say? What does it say? Oh, look at this. It's nice installation instructions that I cannot read. But I think it's just pointing out some of the points where you actually attach these things. Okay. Oh yeah, it even tells you like where to unclip to install these things, so that's nice. So take a gander, guys. For your OEM parts, there's like a bumper thing here and a couple of these little clips. Okay, in the meantime, let's take a look at the quality of this thing. Wow, this thing's nice. A genuine Cusco for the GP7 or GPE chassis. So the first thing we're going to have to do is basically remove this rear bumper. And to do that, you're going to have to get under the car and remove a handful of clips, like 6 or 8 clips. And also remove the tail lights. So tail lights are pretty simple to remove. Basically, you're just going to be getting in right here with a 10 mil and moving these 2 bolts. 1, 2. And after you remove these 2 bolts, you can pull this whole assembly out just like that. Slides out backwards. And then there's a clip here which you can undo. And voila, you have your OEM tail lights removed. So anyone that wants to upgrade your tail lights, this is like one of the simplest mods. Okay, I'm going to do the other side, and then we're going to get under the car to take off some extra stuff. So the next place we're going to have to unclip is basically right around here. There's a clip right here that you're going to have to pop out. I've used some nuts and bolts to hold it on because I can't find the clip that I took off a while ago, so I ended up just using some hardware fasteners. So you're going to undo this part here, and that's the next step. Okay, so things have been removed. The clips have been removed. So now what I'm going to do is basically pull off the bumper, right? And there's going to be bracketing underneath here that you're just going to pull on, and it's going to pop out. Don't worry, this is how you're supposed to take it off. Now just make sure that all the clips underneath have been removed. If you haven't removed them, then you're probably going to have to undo some stuff. Alright, so what it was just a couple of layers of the splash guards in here. They're overlapped, so you just got to untangle them. And once you untangle them, they should kind of pop off, so we're going to try right now. And that's it. So this is the piece that we're going to be replacing right here, right? And these are the OEM 5 mile per hour crash beams. And, you know, I don't think anyone really needs to replace this thing, to be honest. But, you know, for me, I've already done a lot of bracing in the car and tightened up a lot of the car's handling and stuff like that. But this is just like an added bonus to remove this and replace it with something a little bit more stiff, a little bit lighter. We're going to do it. So now is the time to remove this rear bumper beam. And you can see the OEM has put in some nice holes that you can get into. And that's to remove the nuts. I think they're going to be, let me guess, 14? Yeah, typically with Subaru stuff, it's going to be 10, 8, 12, or 14 millimeter bolts. And if it's larger, then, you know, you'll just have to deal with it. So having a full socket set is nice. So it's actually a 14 millimeter, but you're going to need a deep socket. I've got my deep socket here, and we're going to go in and remove this bolt right here. This nut. The nuts and bolts and nuts. Let's see if I can do it with this. Yeah, there's not that much torque on it, it's just a little. Alright, so we're gonna pull this last thing up. It's being held on by two more, the last two. And if you have an impact, this is a good time to use it because basically you just don't want to be threading your hands in there all day. So let's go. That's one, and I'm holding it just so it doesn't fall on the ground. Alright, here we go. Here we go. A couple threads left. One more. And voila! That's your bumper beam. Okay, so there it is. It's removed. We got our bumper beam here. And I will say that some of the hardware that comes out is actually a mix of nuts and bolts because of the way that they've chosen to mount some of these things. You can see there's a stud here and then the holes for the bolts there. So the nut goes on here and the bolts go in there. And you can see now, this is an interesting view because we're now looking into the frame rails of the car's unibody, right? It's hollow, and what we're actually doing is we're tying together these two rails. If you can see in here, there's a frame rail in the car that runs along the rear end of the car and all the way to the front. And there's two of them in these unibody cars that typically provide the structural rigidity of the car, right? So by tying these two together, you should be getting a little bit stiffer chassis, right? But, you know, I was thinking about it the other day and I'm like, why, you know, this bumper beam is actually quite, you know, significant, right? It's made out of stamped steel. Let's take a look at it. Stamped steel. We're going to weigh it, but, you know, stamped steel is very inexpensive to produce. They do like a couple of spot welds here and there, and that's it. They call it a day, right? But this new piece that I'm going to get, I'll show you guys in a minute, should be a lot more rigid. So tying those two frame rails together with a rigid piece is like adding this kind of bracing, right? So to be honest, I don't even think I'm going to really feel it because I have so much bracing and like underneath the car there's a lot of bracing. But again, I'm doing this for the weight savings, and yeah. That being said, guys, so there is a reason why they have this crash beam here. It's supposed to handle low speed impacts without damaging the car, and like I guess there's some crush areas of this beam, right? It'll probably deform if you crash into it or something, right? So just a note, like if you guys are worried about that 5 mile per hour crash, then maybe you don't change this out. But for the most part, we're going to deal with this. What about crashing, like safety crashing from a rear end? I feel like the car has like a lot of crumple zones in the rear end anyway. So if you're going to get into a high-speed collision, then fingers crossed that's not going to happen. But this bumper beam really is just going to like fold and bend anyway. So most of the rigidity is in those frame rails, and then crumple zones in the rest of the car. Let's get a magnet. I was actually worried that this thing's aluminum, but it's actually steel. So I'm happy that it's steel, because steel is going to have a little bit of that pliability, but it also is going to be very strong, right? So, and in this case, the welds are kind of mediocre if you ask me, but should be fine. Nobody's going to see them. The welds here are pretty nice, or okay, a bead here. But yeah, let's weigh this to see what the difference in weight is. All right, how much is it going to weigh? I have this in pounds, so anyone that uses metric can do your own conversions. But let's take a look. So this is the OEM bumper beam. I'm just going to lightly put this on here and then hold the top so it doesn't fall over, and we can see how much this big behemoth weighs. 12.9 to 13 pounds. All right. Let's take a look. The other one, with the tag, how much is it going to weigh? Ooh, 3.2 pounds-ish? Yeah, that's a major weight savings, guys. And the rigidity of this thing is touted as being higher than the OEM crash bar. All right, so we're going to fit this thing on. Just do a little dry fit here. I believe it goes like this. So it's not going to use all three of the pieces here, guys. It's going to use only this one and the bottom one. We're not going to touch that one. Imagine I left this thing on here. It's kind of like, you guys remember like in the 90s when people used to keep the tags on their hats? I just told you guys how old I am, so anyway. Alright, so we're going to install this here. It does look pretty good though. That signature Cusco blue. To savor this process, I'm using manual tools instead of an impact wrench. Alright, so we're going to leave it a little loose so that we can align all of the nuts and bolts here to get it nice and centered. Alright, so that's it, guys. We're saving about approximately 10 pounds over this large thing here. And we should also be getting a little bit more structural rigidity in that rear end beam. Yes, I think it's worth it. 10 pounds off the rear of the car. What's that going to do? It's going to lighten the rear end of the car a little bit, but that's okay. We have all-wheel drive, right? It will shift the weight bias to the front by a little bit, but for the most part, just reducing the polar end pieces of your car, so the weight on the ends of your car is going to have a significant change in handling, right? Ideally, you would want to remove weight from the front of the car, but in this case, we're adding structural rigidity, supposedly, and we're lightening it up a lot. So, yeah, great. bonus. So all that's left to do now is put that bumper back on. All right, we're gonna try to do this, put this rear bumper on without fumbling too much. Most of it is these like little latch hooks kind of thing. It's gonna sit on this thing here. All right, so the most cumbersome part of this is really just getting that rear bumper back on. And it has to do with these clips up here and then like get everything lined up here, right? So take your time. Once it's on, it's on. It just hangs, right? So I'm gonna pull these little brackets up. Make sure you move your splash guards into the right place and you should have no problem. All right, so there it is, guys. We've installed the rear bumper. Rear tail lights back on. I mean, you can't tell because it's all underneath, right? So I think in all honesty, guys, the most frustrating part of this install is to reinstall the rear bumper. All of the little splash guards, got to line them up and then put the clips back in, and they got to get under the car and then put those clips back in. You got to line up all the brackets. Yeah, I think if it wasn't for that, this install would take just, 10 minutes. So anyway, guys, that's it for now, and hope to see you on the next video.